Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? Let's jump into a. I'm gonna just call this the weekend video, honestly. Is it a review? Is it a end of day for Friday? Is it a we look ahead for the week? It's everything. So it's just weekend review, right? Um, should I start in my journal? Do anything for last week? What were the dates of last week from the 16th to the 21st? So only GPSD on the 18th. Took a loss using a trade idea that worked last week, but the key difference being that the other was a strong news. That's supposed to probably be news PI. The first loss was more than my average, so I need to tighten up risk management. Okay, we can then look into those. Actually, review like the specific trade, right? Tiny early entry invalidation. Okay, so we actually had an early entry invalidation on this one, although it was tiny. Yeah, I remember this trade. I think I was comfortable with taking the loss since I think the overall idea was it was a decent idea. I think overall, I think it was a decent idea overall. Trying to play the momentum, right? This like sort of bearish leg deeper into the swing and the strong swing low, but then yeah, we took the loss in there. I think okay, not a bad loss. I'd say definitely not a bad loss. The second loss though with the LC1 and trying to be smart, try to trade the same ideas last week. Yes, definitely got me caught out. And then this one I said issue with a little bit of risk management because I entered a little bit late instead of up here, like literally right there. I entered like somewhere down here, which increased my loss by like $10. Like I'll just say account for slippage, right? Not too bad. This one, I remember there was a mindset issue on this one as well. Ooh, used cat. Did I not write that down? I'm pretty sure I didn't. I was pretty sure I wrote something down for this one. A little late. Um, I remember. Yeah, I remember this one very good. I'm surprised I didn't write down the thoughts that I had. I thought I did. Honestly, I thought I did. I remember writing something down, and I wrote it like during just before the trade was about to close. Did I use the wrong date? Oh, it's this one. I used the wrong date. It's not the 13th. Mm, TABE Monday then. Two losses already today. Okay, it's not this one. This one actually is for the 30. How do I close this? How do I confirm like a date or something? It was okay. It was actually 13th, which means I didn't actually write down the feelings. It was the exact same feelings as the USD cat I just opened up. I was so sure that I wrote something down here. I was literally so sure. I remember writing something. I do remember feeling like I need this win, bro. I remember that, and I think it stemmed from knowing that the smaller 1K account was like moving closer and closer to meeting the requirements, right? So I remember feeling like, damn, I kind of want this win, because because the win brings me closer to meeting the requirements, and then I can finally see something, right? I remember this one. I just don't know why I didn't write that down. But anyway, I do remember this one. I think in terms of a week, it was not much action happening, right? Anyway, the action that did happen, I did catch. And then Thursday, Friday, really nothing happened. So, but I still feel like, okay, today I did look into the feeling of like not being focused, and I think for now the self-diagnosis is just like just being mentally tired, right? Not straight up burnout or anything, but just a little bit tired. Right? I can feel myself when I try to focus. There's like a little headache in there. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find ways to deal with that. So A, we don't get burnout, and B, I don't actually stop, right? Because also I have the feeling that I may try and use this as an excuse for me to start slacking off again, right? And I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to give myself a reason to slack off. So I'm gonna try and work through it, right? Even feeling a little bit tired mentally, whatever. But I'm gonna try and work through it, but be careful at the same time, right? I don't want to ruin all my progress by just being seriously burnt out and then leading to step away from the charts. Right? I don't want to step away. I wanna continue with the, because right now everything is literally like low friction, right? Like making this video, do feel a bit tired, but I just took a nap, like an hour nap or so, just so I can be a little recharged and be able to do this. But the friction is very low. Friction is low, nice and low. It's just the focus, right? That's also low as well. But I think I'll try and work through that. Keep the friction low. I think that's good. Showing up, very good. So yeah. Anyway, on the daily, we're still pretty bullish, right? Daily zone all the way here should serve as a pullback. Maybe a bigger one than most, since we are kind of getting to like extreme POIs back here. Maybe we see a pullback in, and I don't know, it's the daily, and dailies gonna take years to do that. So just be aware that there's a zone there. 4 hours, well, like any zones in here are pretty strong, right? Because we created the bars, but supply has been failing, right? Supply has been failing. So I don't expect much out of supply when it does hold a little bit, right? Maybe pullbacks, but I'm not out here expecting it to perform miracles. Excuse me. And then yeah, 4 hour is technically bearish, but order flow has been bullish for a long time, right? Since June, order flow has just been bullish. Range, bullish, and then maybe we see a switch down, but I kind of want to see it come into this daily before maybe it gives like a bigger pullback. So on the M15 right now, maybe we then continue looking for buys, but we did have this, what is now a strong internal, could be swing, could be internal, because I'm still like trading internals there, swing all the way down there, but this is like enough pullback to be a swing. So I'll just say a strong swing high, looks like it's holding. Maybe we see it push below this internal low and then look for sells maybe, but again, considering that there's a daily zone somewhere above here, so we could see it move up again. Yeah, as of now, basically just stuck between this high and low. Let's see if we break down first or we go higher first, and then we just take it from there. There's no need for me to overcomplicate it for myself, look for smart ways to do this and that. Nope, just let it play out, and then I follow the structure, right? Not try and dictate the structure, I just follow it. I don't know why the hell is my head itching, brother. Okay, internal low, delete that. Start on the daily actually. Sweeping some nice daily liquidity up here. Yeah, the zones, maybe liquidity in there. I'm not gonna be too worried about what's in there. I think I'll be worried about this daily area up here in general. Alright, that makes more sense. Again, nice place to target, so looking for buys still makes sense. When else did I update my M15, man? My 4 hour. That would have been great. So clearly I'm not updating my 4 hour, I'm just fucking vibing on the M15 the whole time. Move this up there. A lot of all of this is just not relevant. We'll just move on from that. 4 hour, yeah. 4 hour, yeah. And then you see how we are going higher or following on the M50. Boss, I boss, you boss, me boss, everybody boss. I'm not sure. Okay, I'll say it's still internal. It's kind of big enough to be like swing. Mucha padrón. Yeah, okay. Let's just use that as swing. I think structurally it does matter, right, for internal this swing, but in this case it's a big enough move, man, to consider it to be swing. I may be wrong for now, but like soon it kind of like it just aligns itself and then I'm right. For now I could be wrong, but this is like a big enough move to be swing. It's just if you look at the previous swing, you say, okay, the previous swing was bigger than this, but then it's all the way down here, man. Come on, if this is gonna switch bearish to like pull back all the way down here, might as well let it be the swing, and then you're just still playing cells. Like it doesn't change much calling this swing or internal, because they're still trying to follow the market structure, right? The order flow. And so yes, you know, looked for buys in here, but I think there were no valid buys in here on Friday. Was it Friday? There was no valid buys in here. Right, as you can see, just straight push down. No liquidity created as well in here. Right, straight push down. And then in terms of swing, if this was the swing from back then, you can still argue that there's no good POI down here that you would have looked for buys from. Even on the hour, there's no like good pivot POI. It's just a lot of iffy. So yeah, I think Friday I was justified in not looking for, not looking, but forcing anything that's not there, because I feel like a lot of these zones are not strong zones, and I would have been forcing something that is not there. So I'm okay with letting it move without me. If as long as I'm not missing anything valid, then it's okay. I don't need to feel any FOMO as long as I'm not missing out on anything valid. Yeah, daily there. And then more daily here. Is it even gonna come back to this daily? It's been just steady decline. I don't think we'll see it come back all the way up there. It really is just like a steady decline. Also, clearly I'm not updating my 4-hour charts, but yes, it is what it is. I pause there. Maybe if we get a chart here, then we look for buys, but anything in here, anything like this down in here it's just there for pullbacks. See, it wasn't even like it was the whole zone here that got respected, not the last two pivots. Oh fuck! I said M15. That's not M15. That's 4-hour. Right, I said the 4-hour. M50 again. This just consider this to be swing here. It's a big enough pullback. I don't have to hyper focus on structure. It's all the way back there. Give me 15 past there. This was the prediction for what I thought I'd see on Friday, but it just moved down. It didn't actually give a nice pattern to follow the move down. It just moved down. So just let it be. And then we have this M15 swing high here. No great 15-minute like pivot POI. At least we have some 1-hour pivot in here, and the pivot will just like be that, to be honest. Okay, so hopefully maybe when it opens we see something like a move in here. It could also even come in there, and then we see close below this low and then pull back into a zone in here, right? And then continuation. It could also look like, what is this? What am I doing? It could also look something like a move into here, not hit the pivot, right? Move down and then continuation. It could also look like a move up into here, reaction from these lows, move up, move down, and then continuation like this. So there's really many ways it can look, but the idea is breaking close, most important, right? Let the internal shift bearish and then trying to follow the internal, because currently the internal is bullish, but there is no buy opportunities. And then once the internal shifts bearish here, unless it gets into like here, and I'm satisfied with saying this is like a strong high, let me take the risk and sell in here before it switches bearish. So there's many ways to look at it, but I think the most higher probability is just waiting for a 15-minute internal break of structure. So we'll see what ends up being what tomorrow. Yeah, peace. Do we, before I go, do I do a course correction on the week? I think there's no need. Is there a need? Am I just being lazy? Beep, 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 beep. I didn't do many course corrections. Maybe I wasn't so focused during the week. Yeah, I think maybe not so much not focused this week. Maybe a lot more mental tiredness than I would like. But there's really no correction to be made. Well, there is, but the correction means I need to find a solution. So we'll see what solutions I cook up. Yeah, I'm kind of tired even now. I'm just gonna like edit, post, and eat, sleep, and then yeah, tomorrow look up some sort of solution. Yeah, peace.